Hello everyone, this is KenBroTech from KenBroTech. So in this series of videos, we are building a blog application. Now, there are some few things I would want to sort out before you move on to the main objective of this particular video. And that's to create a user edit profile page. Now, in the main project, we have some background image over here and some few styles that we need to work on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the project. And first of all, let's go into settings.py. There's one last thing we need to do, and that's going to be in our Postgres project application. We'll go into settings.py. So now for what we have over here, we are going to specify a static. So let's do static files underscore directory. So this static files directory is going to be the directory in which we are going to have our static files within. And once again, this is going to be in a base directory, something like this. We've seen this a couple of times. Remember, we have something over here with regards to the media roots and media URL. And in here, we are going to have static. So this static is going to be a folder we are going to create ourselves. And I'll come in here, collapse everything and click outside so that I don't I put it where it's supposed to be actually. So I'll create a folder. I'll call this static, and inside static I'm going to create a file, and this is going to be my style.css. So style.css is going to have every bit of styling that we would want. So right at the back of this, let me just try and see if everything is working. So I'll just grab the body, okay, the entire body of the website, and let's say give it a background color. And this is just to check if indeed everything is working. So let me just do red for now. So now this is okay. All that I need to do now is to go into my template folder, come into my partials, come into base.html, and I need to load the static files or my static. So I'll do load static. And the next thing I would need to do is to link it up over here because I have an external static CSS, my custom CSS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out a comment over here, and I'll say custom CSS. So this is where my custom CSS will go. And I'll put in a link tag over here, and all that I need is to link it up. So right now you can see that if I do a / I can navigate through this, okay, and go into static and get grab my style.css. This is what you normally do, linking things up, but this is not going to work quite yet. All that we need to do is to put out a template tag. So you can see that we are going to have a template tag over here, and I'm going to say static, and this is going to be in a quotation mark, and I'm going to end this with a template tag. I think I need to bring the percentage signs over here. So this is what we have, and let's try come back here and come and refresh. First of all, let's log in because that's going to be in the index page or the body of the website. So when I log in, I'm expecting to see the red color at the background, and it is not working quite yet. But for instance, if I'm to get rid of this static, okay, if I don't load it and come back to come and refresh, we are going to say that it has a template syntax error at block. It says invalid block tag on line 14, which is static. Did you forget to register or load this tag? That's exactly why we needed to bring static or load static over here, and is unable to pick it up. So the reason for that is because we are referencing it from the static folder, so we don't need to bring the / static. So once I save this and come back over here, clearly we can see that we now have that red background over here. So we are rest assured this is going to work. So we just need to come in here and work with this properly. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to clear this one off, and inside that particular image is actually showing up at login.html, and I think sign up. Okay, so login.html and sign up.html. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out a custom class over here, and I'll call this cover. So this cover is going to be a custom class, and I'm going to add cover over here too. So sign up is also going to have that cover, and now I'm going to style cover. So I can do dot cover because cover is a class over there, and now I can do a background, and the background I'm going to specify an image. But first of all, I need to put this image. This is a background image. I'll copy this, so I'll do a Ctrl+C, and I need to put it in my project folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into desktop. My projects subscribers is here, and I'll need to go into media and drop this over here. So this background image is exactly where the default image is located. All right, so I'll just go over this again. So for my background, I'm going to link it up with a URL, and this is the link I need to provide. I just need to put out this link over here, and I'll go into media, and I want to grab the background.jpg, and I think in order to make this work, let me just put out important over so that it kind of consider this very important. So when I do this and come back to come and refresh, we don't seem to see any change over here yet. We have this cover being encapsulated in the container class. So I think what we'll need to do, and let me cut this over here, is to have this cover class alone. So I'll copy this so that the container class will be within the cover, so that it kind of covers everything. And I'll do same for the sign up page over here. Once again, let me just take this one off and have this cover class showing up over here. And I think this should make it work. So for my background, I'm going to put out the URL over here and link things up. So I'm going to go through my media, and what I need is the background.jpg, and that's what I have over there. Now when I come here to come and refresh, I'm going to see the background over here, but it's not as decent, I mean the way I wanted to have it over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have and I'll call this background position. So background position is going to be center, and finally I'll do background size, and background size is going to be cover. So when I do this and come back to come and refresh, you're going to see it's being positioned in a nice way, but clearly you can see that the image is being shortened over here. So I'm going to specify a height over here, and the height is going to be 100 VH. That's the vertical height of the entire space over there. So when I do that and come and refresh, you can see that we now have everything showing up nice over here. And when I click on this is a login page, when I click on sign up, we can see that within the sign up page we have this particular background image showing up over here. All right, so now let's log in as admin, and I'll type in the password of admin over here. So I'll log in, and we now want to edit the profile page over here. All right, so now let's get into our code. Let me close these ones up and collapse these as well. All right, so in order to edit our page, let me quickly do this inside our templates and inside our profile.html. We are going to see this modal showing up over here, where within the modal body is where we want to do our editing. So for instance, let me say edit info here. So edit information here, and that's exactly what or where we are going to edit our information, exactly this portion of the website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to once again call the rule class over here, and I'll do call -md4, and call md4 is going to have the image, and we are going to have the call -md8, and call md8 is going to have the other side of the form or the system. So let me say form over here, and if I'm to just save this and come back here to come and refresh, when we come here we can see that the image is going to show up over here, and the form that we need to edit is also going to show up over there. So for the form, indeed we are going to use the form, and we are going to use a method of post. So a method of post over here, and we are going to grab these buttons over here. So I'll do a Control X, cut them and put them over here. And obviously this is not the first time we are working with forms, so clearly we need to bring out our CSRF token over here. So CSRF _ token, and this is going to help us with security features. All right, so the form is not going to show up yet because we don't have any form technically. So what we need to do is to go into our, let me close these ones up over here. We should go into our users app, and inside our users app we go into views.py, and we need to render some forms over here. And even before we do that, let's go into forms.py and go and create those forms that we want to render in our view. So over here we are going to define a class over here, and I'm going to call this user update form, and user update form is going to inherit from forms.model form, just as we had over here. Okay, in this case we're using the user creation form, we're inheriting from the user creation form. This time around we are going to inherit from forms.model form, and all that we need to do is to specify a class meta, and the name of the model we are creating this for is going to be user, and we have the user imported over here. So we are going to specify the user model, and the fields as far as the things we would want to change are concerned. And let's see, we can actually change the username, the email. It will not be prudent to be changing password over here, so we are going to change the name and the email. So over here we are going to say username, comma, and we'll add email over here. All right, I'll save this, and we'll do same for the profile. So over here I'm going to say profile updates form, and profile update form is also going to inherit from forms.model form. And once again I'll specify a class meta, and the model I need for this is going to be the profile model, and I don't seem to have that one over here. So let me come here and I'll say from the current models I want to import the profile model, and this actually this model. All right, so now that we have the profile model imported, the model we want to create the profile update form for is actually going to be the profile model. And once again we need to specify the fields over here. So once again we'll go into our model and have a critical look over here. We are definitely not going to change the user over here because the user is going to be linked up. So over here what we need, or what we are interested in, is going to be the image. So I'm going to come here and I'll specify image over here. All right, so now we have these forms created. Let's come into our views.py, and inside our profile page, okay, this is our profile page. This is where when we click the modal we have this. So we want to put these forms over here. So inside our profile page, and even before we do so, we need to import those forms over here. So remember we have we have sign up form over here and we are importing it. So let's do the user update form and the profile update form as well. So inside here, I'm going to call this U form for user update form, and this is going to be the user update form, and we are going to grab the request dot post over here. All right, and let me save this for now. But just as we did over here, we want to check if the method is equal to post, and indeed the method we are specifying over here is equal to post. So inside of this, let me quickly do this so that we don't forget. So I'm going to say if request dot method is equal to post. If request dot method is equal to post, then we would want to have our user update form over here, and we also want to have the profile update form, which we are going to call the P form. It's going to be profile update form like this, and I'll do request dot post. We are not quite done with the things we need to input over here, but I just want to show you exactly how the thought process is actually going to look like. So our U form is over here going to be the user update form. We leave it empty like this, and our P form is also going to be the profile update form, empty like this. Now what I can do over here is to come and create a context dictionary, and within the context dictionary we are going to put in our U form, and the key and the value is going to be U form, and our P form is also going to come in here, and we have P form showing up over here. All right, so let's pass the context dictionary over here so we can have access to it in profiles.html. So inside profiles.html, within this file over here, or within this form over here, we need to pass in the U form and the P form, and since both of them are data, we have to put this in this particular template tag. So I'll type in this for the U form, and I'll do P form over here as well. So when I save this, we're actually going to see the form show up over here. So when I click, we see this form displaying over here. Clearly we are going to start things up. So we already have the load crispy form tags imported over here, so you can simply pass in that filter over here. So I'm going to pipe it and say crispy, and I'm going to do same over here as well. So when I save this and come back here to come and refresh, clearly we have some styling over here, but as you can see, I also want to get rid of these help text. Okay, I don't want them. So just as we came in here to write this code to get rid of the help text, we can actually copy this. So I'll do a Ctrl+C, all right, and paste it just beneath I think this class over here. So I'll paste it over here, and all that we need to do is we actually don't have the password 1 and password 2 over here. So I'll clear this because we only have the username and the email, and the name of the form is actually going to be the user update form. So I'll do a Ctrl+C and paste it over here as well. So we are getting rid of the help text, and if I'm to come here and come and refresh, you see that the help text is gone. For the email, there's no help text, so we don't have to worry ourselves too much. Now what I want to do is to bring up the image over there. So the image is actually going to display over here, and we are going to use the double curly brackets once again, and I'm going to say user dot profile model dot image dot URL. and let's quickly give it a bootstrap class over here. So I'll do img thumbnail. So this is what we have. Now let's refresh and see exactly what's all right. So this is exactly what we want. But as far as the editing goes, we want to click on edit profile and instantly see the username pre-filled over here so that you can edit. Okay, so in order to get that username pre-filled, we need to come into our views and come and complete what we have over here. So I'm going to do instance. Okay, we are going to specify an instance, and the instance is going to be the request.user. So the user who is making that request, whichever name is going to be pre-filled over here. But before then, let's do an all none over here, so that if there's none, we don't seem to have any problem over here. As far as the profile update form goes, we are going to do request.post all none, and we are also going to do request.files. Okay, because as far as the image goes, we are going to upload files or images over here. Then over here too, we need to pass in the instance. I think I made a mistake over here. We need to pass in the instance. So the instance over here is also going to be request.user.profile, and I think this is going to be profile model. All right, so this gets reformatted, and we also need to bring these ones over here. So I'll do Ctrl+C and paste it over here as well. And let me paste this over here and change or continue to add profile model over here. All right, so I think this is just about it. We are getting some errors over here. I don't think this is a major problem. All right, so you don't seem to have any problem over here. We are not quite done with the logic over here, but I just want to be sure that everything we are doing is intact. So clearly we have the image, the username showing up over here pre-filled, so we can now edit the email address pre-filled, we can edit, and the image as well. All right, so in order to make this work properly, we need to come and finish things up over here. So we are going to say if the u form dot is valid, okay, and p form dot is valid. So we are calling the dot is valid method on both forms over here. If both of them are valid, then we want to have u form dot save, and we also want to have p form dot save. So I just copy this and change this to p form. Now we would want to return a redirect. Okay, we would want to return a redirect, and we have redirect already imported, so I'll do return redirect. And where do we want to return redirect? We want to return and redirect onto the profile page. So for the profile page, let me check the URL. I think it's users-profile. So that's what we want to return and redirect to. So I'll put this over here. All right, so I think we are in business. But last but not the least, let me change something over here, and that has to do with something on the form. And I think in my inventory projects, we had this issue over here. So I'm going to type ink type, and I'm going to select the multi-part form data, because these are multiple forms. So we need to include this over here in order for it to be recognized. And finally, this save button over here, we need to for the type you need to put up a submit over here so that it is recognized as such. So I think we are good to go. So now we have admin over here. Now let's change admin to admin100, and let's change the email address to admin100@gmail.com, and let's also change the image over here. So I'll click on this, and I'll quickly have to go in here to see my images. And for this particular image, let's use this. So when I click on save, we are redirected over here. We can now see that the name has now changed to admin100. The email address has also changed to admin100@gmail.com, and obviously the picture too has changed. All right, so now you can see that everything is in touch as far as our profile and our profile edit is concerned. Now let's log out and log in again as Brony. So Brony, and I'm going to type in my password. So this is Brony over here. Brony can view his profile. Remember, when we registered Brony is still using the default avatar image. So now Brony can change and add his own email address. So kbrony123@gmail.com, and I'd want to have this as my profile image. So I'll choose this, and once I click on save, we have this showing up over here. And clearly, anytime, let me log out and log in again as Brony. So I'll log in and I'll type in my password. So anytime Brony comes onto the system, he has these data being displayed over here. Brony can change this anytime he wants. So we are through with setting up the profile and everything over here. So this is going to be the end of this video. In our next video, we are going to look at how we look at the post detail page and how we can edit a post and update a post, delete a post. All right, so if you find this tutorial very interesting, there are a couple of ways you can help me grow my channel. Kindly subscribe to KenBroTech, and don't forget to hit on the notification button so that anytime I release a video, you'll be duly notified. Also, share this video with friends and family who find this content very useful. At KenBroTech, we say learn programming, you can do it. And also don't forget to pass in the comments or ask any question you seek clarification to. Thank you very much, and bye bye.